Hey, it's Sheldon with Tiger Tough here. Right now, I am going to show you how to install these seat covers on the rear seats of a four-door Bronco. Should take 45 minutes to an hour or so. Let's do this. All right, before we get started, there's a couple of things that we need to do to make putting these covers on A, possible, and B, easier. You'll notice I've taken the roof off. That is not necessary. I only did that to let more light in so you can see what I'm doing. But you do not need to take your roof off to put your seat covers on. First thing we're gonna do is remove the headrests. So push the button on the side to flop the headrest forward. And then right here on the side is a little button. You push that in. While you're pushing it in, pull the headrest out and you're good to go. And that goes for all of them. Now this one here doesn't fold forward. So if you just fold the seat forward, you pop the headrest right out, push the button in, pull the headrest out, good to go. I'm gonna take all of these and put them out of the way because we don't need them until the almost very end. The first piece that we're gonna cover is the driver's side back. It's called the 60 portion. It's because this back seat is like it's a bench. This is 60% of it. That's 40%. We're gonna cover the 60 portion. There's a very specific reason why. It's because it's the hardest piece to put on. So I figure if we get the hardest piece out of the way first, then smooth sailing after that. So what I've already done here is gone ahead and got all of the hook and loop flaps undone so that nothing's sticking to each other. Very, very important here. Run the cover behind the seat belt. If you run it over the seat belt, you'll get the cover on and you'll say, hey, where'd the seat belt go? So let's not do that. Now what I'm doing here is just getting the cover so that the armrest can go right through the hole in the cover. There we go. Now, we're gonna be tipping the seat partway forward, and this is gonna be super common throughout the whole install process. We're gonna move this seat back and forth a lot. So wrap it around there, and then wrap it around this side here. See, now the cover is already taken the shape of the seat. Seat belt's sticking out just like it's supposed to. Everything is looking up. Now let's deal with these headrest holes here along the top. We're just gonna take the cover, stretch it around that plastic trim on one side, push it across, and then it tucks right up underneath that plastic trim. And that A, helps the cover stay on better, and B, looks better. Both of which are pros. So this is the plastic trim, or the carpet from the back here. And we just have the cover goes down behind that just a little ways here. What I'm doing right now is just getting everything pulled on nice and straight, and then we'll line up the hook and loop down the back of the cover and stick it all together. There we go. Now we've effectively wrapped the entire seat. Now let's put our attention to these tether points here. This is something that I do. Again, it just looks so much better if you take these little steps and do this. But we're tucking the cover right in behind this plastic. That way it doesn't look like, oh, you just chucked something on there quick. It looks like you actually took the time to get it right. Let's do this next, and that is this flap right here is going to go right up behind the armrest. And what I like to do is, can actually latch the seat so you're not fighting that. And then I'll start pushing it up behind the armrest with one hand while I work the armrest back and forth until it starts to pop up the backside. Just like that there. And then that flap there just slides up inside and sticks together. Put the armrest up for now. And these flaps here are gonna shoot down the front of the seat like this. Again, you see I've got the seat back tipped partway forward. Just makes it so much easier because it opens up this huge gap in here that you can get your hand down in. And then with it still tipped partway forward, we'll start working up these flaps. Now they're gonna wanna stick to the carpet on the bottom of the vehicle. So doing this right here where you got one hand pushing it through and one hand catching it could be your best option, because it currently is my best option. And I want what's best for you, I really do. When's the last time you bear hugged a Bronco? Oh, today. Yep, it was today. And I'm not ashamed of that. Okay, look there, 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 flaps pulled through. Now, pull them really nice and tight. Like this. And, because that's gonna make your cover fit way better down the front of the seat. All right, now these here, I did not get these finished. They were fighting me a little bit. I'm gonna work on these quickly, and then I'll get right back with you. Sometimes it's easier if you have like a Leatherman trim tool, something like that. You can start working it underneath that plastic. But if you don't have that, don't worry about it. You can also just leave this popped out too. It's totally up to you. There we go. See, now that's tucked in there. I'm just gonna wiggle this back around a little bit to get some of them wrinkles out. We're gonna call that pretty dang good. Now, some people might ask, is it really worth it to go to all this effort to get that tucked in there? Yes, it is. Because it looks better. There we go. That is finished. Now this right here is super common, where this folds over and you go, oh, it looks terrible. And I would agree with you. So let's make it not look terrible. All you do is just unroll the cover. And if it's a little too tight to unroll, which that is, we'll undo this flap right here. Boop. Now I'm sticking it to the seat right there so it doesn't go anywhere, but now it's loose. And then we can pull and twist and tweak. It's really just push it over. And then, now that we have that where we want it, secure it again, and bada bing, bada boom. I do like that. Let's cover the armrest. And here I am with an armrest cover. It's a cute little guy. But even cute little armrests deserve to get covered. So we're gonna take the cover and slide it on like that. But before it gets on all the way, reach in there, get this little strap, and make sure it shoots out the front of the cover just like that. So that way you can still, move your armrest up and down. Now we've got this right here to kind of secure the cover around the corner of the armrest. Let's do that. And just like we did on the back, this is even more important than on the back. If you skip the back, I won't be mad at you. But if you skip this, I won't be mad, but I will be disappointed in you. There, see? Don't skip that part. Tuck the cover underneath that plastic so it looks clean and tidy and just all around good. Okay, now this we're gonna shove right up the back here again. There we go. Got it. Just like before, pull it tight from the top. Shabam. Covered. Now, hit a big bump and the big gulp sloshes over. Armrest is no issue whatsoever. Now we cover the bottom. Now, I have the bottom covered. Just getting it sorted out which way it's gonna go on here. And we're gonna start feeding it over the seat. So how it goes is with the one solid long flap down the front. And we'll start by, leaning the seat back forward again. See, when I lean the seat back forward, it pulls the whole seat bottom forward as well. Lets you work underneath of it. So we're gonna shove that down the side. You can see as soon as I get it pulled over the seat, the cover just goes boom, tries to take the shape of the seat, and that's good, we want that. Now, these flaps here are gonna try to stick to the carpet, just like they just did there. So fold them in on themselves like this, and then you can wrap them down around underneath the seat where we can proceed to deal with them later. See here? Just like that. Okay, now we lean the seat back up. We've got all these flapperoonies to deal with. We've got one here. We got them coming down the side and down the back. Now it might be a little bit hard to see what I'm doing underneath the seat here, but bear with me. I'm gonna talk you through it because I wanna make this as easy as it can be. It's a little bit of work, I'm warning you, but it's not terrible. Okay, this big flap here, we're going down the front with it, just like this. All the way underneath the seat. And then we're gonna grab one of the flaps that we pushed through here. I'm starting with the one in the center. I'm just pulling it tight and sticking it up to that big center flap. And then we'll do the exact same thing with the other one. So with my hand that's on top here, I'm rotating the cover around the cushion to make it as tight as possible. And then my hand on the bottom here is pulling that loose end tight and sticking it up there. Then we'll take this one here from the side, wrap it around, stick it in there as well. So you want the one that you wrapped around the back to stick to the side flap and the center flap. And that's gonna hold everything nice and taut on your seat bottom. So we've got the side flap right here. There's this one here. There's also one all the way on the center. So we pull that around, and then that flap that we already pulled through from the front here, the corner of that is gonna stick onto there, just like that. So this flap from the back is stuck to the center piece and stuck to the side piece. And it's exact same for the one towards the center of the vehicle, where it sticks to the piece that goes down here and the piece that comes from the side over here. There we go. Now we're gonna cover the passenger side of the vehicle, and you're in luck because it's not as big, it doesn't have an armrest, it's gonna be easier. That's why we did the hard one first. Now, covering this portion here is pretty much the same process as the driver's side. So, this one's gonna be a little simpler, like I said, because there's only one piece. We don't have to split down the back. So we'll fold that down. And what I'm gonna do with this one is fold it most of the way inside out. And then this is gonna end up sliding on kind of like a big old pillowcase. Slide it down just like so. Look at that. And then, just like before, stretch the cover down around the headrest holes. They'll hold everything in place now. Just unroll the cover down. And so what we're gonna do is feed these flaps through. And just like before, I've got one hand in the back catching them as they come up. Boom, just like that. Okay, caught them both. Gotta catch them all, right? Okay. Pull it tight, really tight. Perfect. Both of them. Because the tighter you pull them, the better your cover is going to fit. And again, because it matters to me, I'm going to make sure that the cover gets tucked behind this tether point trim. This is the little extra details that makes people say, oh wow, I didn't even know you had covers on here. Perfect, I like that. I like that quite a lot. Okay, this piece here, we're just gonna fold over here. I didn't mention this when I was doing it on the driver's side, but right here and here on these corners are your car seat anchor points, and your cover will actually tuck up in behind them so that you can still use them. Because if you're hauling children's back here, you should have your car seat anchored in correctly. Okay, let's install this seat bottom cover. Sliding it over just like so, and like so, and like so. I like that. See that there? That looks good. Okay. Now, fold this over, tuck it down underneath, and then catch it with your free hand. Now, before we got all crazy putting this on, one thing I had checked was that all these corners here are lining up with the corners of the seat. Nothing's twisted up all weird, and it wasn't. Now we got to go back underneath the seat, fasten everything up just like we did before. So we've got the long flap right here down the front and the flap from the back. Just pull the side pieces over and attach them to the piece from the back like that. That way they're secured, and that prematurely attached. Okay, there we go. Now we just pull everything nice and snug, stick it together, and we got a winner. I'm not even mad about that. Cool. Now all we have to do, we put on all of the headrests, we cover them, and then we just, I don't know, we go get this thing dirty, I guess. Now when you're putting these headrests back in, they go in like this, and then these little buttons here need to face the door. So that's the driver's side one. And this is the passenger side one. That means that we do have driver and passenger side headrest covers as well. So you slide those in. I'm gonna leave that tipped forward. These two outside headrests are easier to cover when they're on the seat. So I've got the headrest cover. It's got a tag inside here that says passenger. So that's good. Slide that on. And then I'm tucking the cover back in behind the plastic trim around the adjuster. And then we just stick everything together. Again, I'm gonna fold it forward because that way it gets the seams up in the air where they're easier to work on. There we go, squish it down. And that's assembled. Okay, now we're gonna do the center headrest because I want to show you how to do that one. This one's gonna be a little bit more of a process. So you can see the shape here, how the headrest hangs way down in the front here. And then if I put up the cover, you can see part of it hangs way down as well. So that's how it goes on. And I start with the part that hangs down because it can go into the almost like a little pocket for it there, and then just twist it on. Like that. And the cover wraps up inside, sticks together, bada bing, bada boom. And again, this one kind of runs into the ceiling, so I'm gonna go around to the other side and flip it forward. I'm gonna flip the old seat forward, and there we go. Push it down, and we are golden. This right here, I missed this earlier. What I'm gonna do, just push the cover down, and it sinks right underneath that plastic trim. That way that looks good. Now on this here, I'm just gonna lean this up so you can see what I'm doing here. Push that in. We push the button down, Look inside. This one says driver on it, so we're good to go. And slide it on. Slide it on. Okay, this right here is what I was talking about, where we just go like that around that plastic trim. Just looks so much better. Then tip it forward, fasten up all the straps. And then we are officially completed. There we go. This thing's ready to go have some fun.